Ron Paul stuff on it. You know, and I think that's what we need going forward. You know, we need a guy like him to get into office and put it back where it needs to be, because he's as close as we're going to get to the founding fathers. You know, this Romney Obama stuff, you know, what's the difference between the two? I don't see it. So,
well, you're right. And look, no country's ever gone past 220 years. We've gone 235. And we're rotten now. Bad guys have gotten in at every level. It's become acceptable. They've made tyranny and torture sexy. And they're robbing the country blind. I mean, you know, the foreign banks that run this country are destroying it. I mean, they paid $22 billion to ship, with taxpayer money, to ship General Motors to China, Brazil, and Eastern Europe. I mean, if that isn't tyranny and treachery and treason, I don't know what is. You know, I mean, the people running this country know exactly what they're doing. And the teleprompter readers like Romney and all that, they're just window dressing. And to all the dumb minions of this system who think they're going to have fun, this is going to get very, very dark. And in every case in history, the crop of scum that brings the real tyranny in, they're going to be hung out to dry first. And I see them. They probably killed that FBI agent out in California. They set up the big head of their bomb forensic unit that covered up Oklahoma City in 9/11. They just set him up with a spoofed email, absolutely. I mean, I know it was a setup, because when they really do that stuff, they don't get in trouble. Actually, a lot of them are pervs. That's who they hire, because they'll do anything. The fact that they burned him, we know it's a setup, whether it's real or not. Did you see that case of the top FBI guy with the child porn in his computer?
Yeah, I did. I seen that on your website.
Total setup.
Yeah, he was part of the Oklahoma City stuff. I did see that.
And again, it's a 100% setup. You understand what I'm saying? Because they can run child kidnapping rings and don't get in trouble. I have congressional hearings on that. They can do anything they want. The only time they burn them is when they get out of line. I wonder what he did.
Yeah, you got to wonder. Something happened.
Well, that's why they like to hire those type of people, and he sure looks like a perv. But, you know, again, I mean, who else would be involved in the cover-up of Oklahoma City? But, again, all of them should understand that. They're all expendable. They're all expendable.
I agree. And, you know, that's why I knew when they offered me the informant position, that was something I would never do no matter what, because I've already heard the stories before going into that meeting, what happens, you know, with people like Sirhan and everything else. I've been in touch with that stuff.
Oh, exactly. That's the final point. I'm sorry, make your point, I'll make mine.
I was going to say, you know, I know what they do to those types of people. You think you're doing something good for the country, but they twist that right around real quick.
Oh, no. The new branding, this is the new branding, is don't worry about Al-Qaeda. They're the good guys now, fighting whoever we want them to, you know, give weapons to. Syria, Libya, on and on and on. Iran. Al-Qaeda's nice, friendly. You know, if you don't like them, you're a terrorist. But Al-Qaeda is also bad, and working with former military, and Al-Qaeda is going to link up with the right-wing Christian militias. So, see, I'm not sure about this, but Illinois is one of their prime zones. It's 50-50 that, and this would have been higher-ups that would have done it, probably not even the guys you were involved with. They probably have well, I know they don't, probably, I know they do, a dragnet out to then tell you, now we want you to go in with these simulated explosives and see if the imam supports it. And then you go in, you meet the imam in a restaurant, they remote detonate, and then it's on the news, you guys suicide bombed. You understand how that works? We confirmed on 7/7 a SWAT was MI6, and they hired these school teachers, you know, pretty much Americanize or Englishize, you know, Muslims like you, married to a Christian lady, you know, going to Las Vegas, stuff like that, you know, might drink a beer or whatever. That's who they target. And these guys thought they were fighting Muslim extremists and were going to do a drill. For the drill they had that day of the London Underground being bombed and that very bus. The exact trains, exact time, exact place, exact bus was the drill. A bunch of London cops freaked out, so they went public and said, oh, yeah, we ran a drill, the exact thing. But they brought those guys on. One group didn't show up and figured it out. They shot them all at Canary Wharf. That was even in the news. And whistleblowers went public and made a film. The Brits arrested the guy that made a film about it. So, I mean, my point is, they probably would have gotten you or others down the road, because, you know, a lot of people will jump at it, to think you're going in to bust a group, and then, again, they remote detonate and set you up.
I knew that too. I mean, thank God I would never do it, but thank God I didn't. You know, it sounds like it just sounds horrible for what happens to everybody in the end.
But then those guys get to be on the news as the heroes that, you know, that either busted you planning to blow something up when they had you go out and do a setup, or they let it go forward.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I've been following all that stuff since this has happened to me, and You know, it's not hard to see through. I don't know how people actually believe some of the stuff they say, but for me, it's very simple. Like you just explained it. It's, you know, it's all stuff they created, and then they say they busted the plot. Well, how do you? It's entrapment, is what it is.
Yeah, but they lead them, and they find idiots to do it. Abe, just briefly, just because it's an interesting point, I'm going along here, but this interview is, is going over, but it's very informative. Were you born into a Muslim family? Did you become Muslim because you're married to a Christian lady? I mean, how did that happen?
Well, my dad was Palestinian immigrant, and my mother is a Taylor Street Catholic. So no, I grew up in a multi-religious household. You know, nobody was real religious, you know, but it's the same household I live in today. You know, my wife's a different religion than me. So no, I wasn't born into it. It's just a decision I made later in my life to practice it. And, you know, that's how it went.
But my reason in bringing that up is I've seen the demographics. So many Muslims are just like Christians. You know, they're Christians because their family's Christian. And I'm not attacking your faith. I understand you made a decision that you knew would be under attack, so you believe it. My point is that, and it's all, you know, I mean, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, if you go back to the roots, same God. The point is they try to sell this idea that every Muslim, when it might actually be one out of 100,000, and usually that's either some crazy person or whatever, or they're being set up, are the opposite of trying to blow things up or do things. I mean, I went to high school, had some Iraqi friends that I would just lift weights with, along with other folks, and they've just, I mean, I've run into them on the street today. They're just business people, American dream, and you know, they've made jokes about after 9/11, people think they're at their house with like dynamite. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, tell folks what it's like to be an American Muslim.
It's difficult. I don't let any of my clients know. I mean, obviously this doesn't help when I go on TV and all that, you know, but you know, if I get new clients and stuff, I never talk to them about my personal stuff like that. Nobody by looking at me would tell that I'm Muslim in the first place. You know, a lot of people think I'm Hispanic or something like that, but it's very difficult. You're under a lot of scrutiny all the time. And, you know, people just automatically hate you. Like you said early in the show, it's fun to hate Muslims in America because that's what the government has bred. You know, they make it sound like all we want to do is run around and blow things up, which is not the case at all. You know, a lot of them are peace-loving people, and I got a lot of cousins and stuff that are Muslim. And so people, I hope that changes in America too, because, you know, there's not that many Muslims in America. But for the ones that are here, it's difficult to run around and practice that religion because you know that every mosque, Alex, is definitely under surveillance. I mean, that's the truth of the matter. When they offered me the position inside of the hotel room, they even told me that they already had several other informants at the mosque that I would attend on occasion. So there you go. I mean, they're telling you that they already know about things. You know what I mean? And they have people all over. So, you know, it's crazy. It's difficult to be an American Muslim, that's for sure.
Well, listen, if it's any consolation, they're done beta testing on you, brother. They are moving on now. They're approaching the dentists, the doctors, the lawyers, offering them money to spy on all their patients, their clients. Hey, you'll get money. You're a secret agent. My dad's a dentist that got approached, and he started going to other dentists. They're like, oh, we got approached. We got approached. We got approached at our home. They are creating a giant snitch army. And they've got them just in regular bars of good old boy bars. And the guys are on there talking about football. There's a paid snitch sitting there drinking their beer. And then you find out a lot of times it's to run narcotics and stuff. Look, it's a mafia. That's all this is, and this country's got cancer. Well, Abe, I want to thank you so much for joining us. The book is No Spy, No Fly by Abe Mashal. And Abe, I really want to thank you for coming on with us. I hope folks will get the book at INFOWARS.com. You get a free citizen rule book when you do order at INFOWARS.com. And that's the Bill of Rights, Constitution, more terrorist material. Have you seen the FEMA training videos that I was sent and I released where they say the founding fathers are bad?
No, I haven't seen those yet. I did buy the one about the Oklahoma City, though, which was crazy.
Oh, where the government staged that, very loving. Mm-hmm.
Yep, that was very shocking. I watched that, and then I've seen some of the other stuff on there. I got all of Jesse Ventura's books, but those FEMA camps I've seen on Jesse's show, which you can't even find anymore. You can't watch it online anymore. I don't know if they took it off YouTube or something, but that stuff's getting hard to get to. Oh,
the Homeland Security threatened people over that. I'm not even allowed to say what happened. I was told in confidence, and now can't report it. But You know, as a journalist, and I'm also somebody who gives my commentary, it's hard to not tell people what I know. Just people knew how real this was. Okay, well, thank you so much for spending time with us, sir.
No problem, Alex. If you ever need anything in the future, just give us a call.
All right, thank you. I'm gonna end the show right here and say bye to you after the show. Well, you know, it's a hard subject to cover, and it's hard to go up against these criminals. These are murderers. These people that'll set you up in seconds flat. I wouldn't even be alive right now if it wasn't for your prayers. I wouldn't even be alive right now, my crew. We couldn't even do this without divine intervention and your support. This is so hardcore real. And again, I call it fun to hate Muslims because I've seen it with people, and they just get into it. It's like, it's so fun. It's so scary. They're going to get us, you know, all this stuff. And I go, okay, do you know the different Muslim groups? Do you know their history? Do you know about British intelligence infiltrating and taking over Saudi Arabia, founding it? Do you understand how they've used radical Muslims to keep the Middle East in the Dark Ages, and how anytime Muslims try to develop a country and build it, which they're very good at doing, the system has the Muslim jihadis blow it up and take it over, like you're seeing part 5 of right now with Al-Qaeda in Libya and Syria and other areas. Do you actually know the nuts and bolts? Do you know that the government created Al-Qaeda? Do you understand all this? Do you understand that they're going to use an unpopular minority to beta test this, and then they're going to roll it out against their real enemy? And let me tell you who that is. It's Christian, conservative, libertarian types. And all the documents are all out. I told you this 10 years ago. I told you this from Rand Corporation documents before 9/11. I told you they were going to blow up the World Trade Center and blame it on their asset, bin Laden. I told you they'd roll out his dead body later. I told you everything. Okay, I know their number. Because once you understand their system, you're like, how did I never see that before? It's a pattern. They got playbooks. And the reason they had those FBI agents with a script is not that they're even supposedly dumb. They do not let them deviate 1 micron. That's what zero tolerance is about, where a kid brings a Luden's cough drop. It's not even a drug. It's candy to school, and they arrest them. It's about the teacher cannot make a decision. You can't make a decision. You got to do what the state says. It's about being programmed. And no due process. You can't have a job. You can't fly. You can't live. A lot of people say, well, Alex, this stuff's scary. In closing, I'll say this. You're scaring people. Look, I believe you have courage. I think when you hear the truth, you're going to make preparation for it. I know some will be scared by this info and say, oh, my God, I'll be put on a no-fly list if I protest. I better not do it. No, all of America will fall into total dark tyranny, hellish level of it, if we don't stand up and face this. You don't have a threat and a bully come at you and then bend over to them and they leave you alone. They start beating you up every day. You become what they call their bitch. Well, not me. It's called liberty or death. I'm an American patriot, 1776. My ancestors founded this country. It's my country. It's not your New World Order country, and you're not going to have it. And I declare victory over you. You will be defeated. We will restore the republic. We will defeat your divide and conquer, and your crimes will be exposed. It's that simple. I'm Alex Jones, signing off from the front lines of the info war. If you believe in what we're doing, subscribe at PrisonPlanet.tv so we can build this operation and be strong to defend liberty against all the attacks and storms that come. 15-day free trial right now at PrisonPlanet.tv. Until tomorrow.